So we will continue from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, Sankhya Yoga. I think we had covered till shloka 20. So, as we have discussed, Arjuna had presented reasons why he didn't want to fight the battle of Kurukshetra. So, and Lord Krishna um, starts defeating his arguments. So, basically, he gave 4 reasons in chapter 1: compassion on all the people who are fighting there, and we won't be able to enjoy the kingdom if our own kinsmen are dead. Then, if we do such a grievous crime of killing all these superiors and our own family people, then we get very bad, sinful reactions. And then it may also lead to the destruction of families and dynasty. And in the and in the second chapter, he also finally comes up with another reason that he's not able to make up his mind. Basically, it is indecision. So, because of his indecision, he finally says, "No, Krishna, I don't want to fight." So, anyway, he surrenders to the Supreme Lord and accepts him as his spiritual master. So, now we have so far we have discussed how Krishna has been tackling with Arjuna's first reasoning of compassion. So Krishna is basically giving Arjuna Atmagnana, the knowledge of the soul, and he proves to Arjuna that your compassion is misplaced. You are feeling sorry that by killing all these people, um, no good can come about. But the whole point is, who are you killing? All these people, everyone, all the living entities, they're all spirit souls. They're eternal and they are not to be killed. Then why are you lamenting for the body which is anyway going to die? न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचिन्नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः अजो nitya shashvatoyam purano na hanyate hanyamane sharire. In the previous shloka, 20th shloka, that's what he says. The soul is never born, nor will it ever come into being, because it has always been existing eternally. And therefore, the soul is never to be killed, even when the body is killed. So Krishna continues the same argument. So he brings about now different. He brings about different characteristics of the soul, saying that soul is eternal and spiritual, and therefore, just give me a minute, 1 second. So, now Krishna brings about various characteristics of the spirit soul and proves to Arjuna that the spirit soul is not affected by any kind of attack on it. So, shloka 21 till 30, this Atmagnana, or the knowledge of the soul, is continued by Lord Sri Krishna. So in the shloka 21, he says, Veda vinashanam nityam ya enam ajamavyayam katham sapurusha partha kam ghatayati hantikam. So if one actually knows that the spirit soul will never be destroyed because it is eternal and it is never born or it will never be killed, then how is it that he will be killing anyone or cause someone else to kill? So that's not going to happen. So because he is emphasizing the same point. So Srila Prabhupada often we have seen acharyas also, even in the Shastra, um, various important points will be often repeated. Why the repetition? Because if we have to if we have to drive home the point, or if we have to make someone understand that look, this is really very important, then what do? We put so much emphasis on that by repeating it over and over again. So Krishna is also trying to do that, in order to make Arjuna understand that your compassion for all these people uh, is misplaced, because you're not going to kill them anyway. And
Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, sorry Mataji, I kept getting call. By mistake, I took that call. Okay, I have to. The live streaming is also going on. You're all able to hear me?
Ji Mataji.
Okay, sorry. Okay. Okay. So basically, Krishna is making the point here that uh, when when you know very well, if you know very well that the soul is eternal, so what kind of sinful reaction? You're not going to get any sinful reaction, because you're not killing anyone. Now, this cannot be imitated by someone or anyone and say that, oh, I have the license to kill anyone and everyone, because they're not the body, they're the spirit souls. But that is why here he's saying, one who knows, that means one who has come to the understanding, one who has come to the spiritual platform, and he's able to see that they're all spirit souls. Such a person will never kill anyone, nor will cause anyone to be killed, because he knows everybody is are spiritual beings, so they cannot be killed. Therefore, he cannot cause anyone to kill also, because who is to be killed? Everyone is spirit soul and they're eternal. But in this particular situation, because Krishna is directly instructing Arjuna, and it is Arjuna's duty to abide by Krishna's instructions, and that is why, by doing his duty or his dharma, he will not get any sinful reaction either. So, therefore, um, he also says in the next shloka, just like when we change our clothes when our clothes are worn out or they get torn, we give them up and we accept new clothes. Similarly, the body also accepts the soul also accepts new bodies when the current body is not good or functional. So, it is a natural process of transmigration of the soul. So, therefore, there is nothing to be lamented about this. So, we have previously learned how the body is continuously undergoing changes. From a baby's body, it will grow up into a boy's body or a youth's body, and then nobody laments. So similarly, it will undergo degradation and it will become old and invalid, and finally, when it is no more functional, the body will give it up, the soul will give it up, and therefore nobody. Then why should someone lament about it? And now, from shloka 23 onwards, now Krishna brings about the characteristics of the spirit soul. He says, Nainam chindanti shastrani nainam dahati pavakaha. The soul can never be cut into pieces by any weapon. So why do you have to lament? Whether you use your arrows or any astra or whatever, nothing, it can't be harmed in any way. It can't be burnt by any fire, because back in the day, there were many kinds of very sophisticated, subtle weapons. So nowadays, we only know of atom bombs or nuclear bombs. They're very gross. So they will just, when a bomb is, when a bomb explodes, then it just destroys everything around it. But the kind of sophisticated weaponry they had back in the day was so amazing that Srila Prabhupada writes that, they had all these Agni Astra, Varuna Astra, Vayu Astra, all this. Just by chanting mantras, subtle mantras, they could empower different or utilize different elements, physical elements like fire, air, water, and use them as weapons. So, therefore, Krishna is saying, okay, even if you were to use Agni Astra, the Agni can never burn the soul, or water, or Varuna Astra, or water can never moisten the soul, nor can the soul be dried up by wind. So there is also another interesting point here. Why Krishna is making all this is that our physical body, gross body, our body can be destroyed in all these ways. So, therefore, by comparing that with, so Krishna has been comparing how the body is temporary and it will be destroyed, and the soul is eternal. Now he is getting into also the details how the soul is not destroyed and how the body can be destroyed is what we can infer. So, our body, if it can be, people die by fire accidents, or they can die by drowning in water or things like that, and even excess wind. This is a very dry season in winter, so we can see how our bodies also become very dried up, and it can lead to uh, different health issues. So in many ways we can see body changes, and body can be destroyed by various physical elements, but the same effect will not work on the spirit soul. In the next shloka also he says, Achedyoyamadahyyoyam akledyo shosha evacha nitya sarvagata sthanaho achaloyam sanatanaha. So the individual soul, now he's saying, it can never be broken, or it can never dissolve in water. So there are some substances, if we, let's say, either sugar or salt or chalk piece, if we put it in water, it will get dissolved. So this spirit soul, it will not dissolve in any liquid like that. It cannot be dissolved. And it cannot be broken into pieces. It can't be burnt. It can't be dried. So no way we can destroy a soul. So killing is not necessarily only by weapons, or at least the gross weapons that we can think of. There are many subtle weapons also that can kill, or in many ways we can actually destroy our bodies, but none of it will work on the spirit soul. So this is something fantastic if we really think about it. We do not have an experience of coming across any substance like this. any kind of a substance that we would have come across in our life, it will be subject to destruction in one of these methods for sure. Because why? Because it is one or the other. It is some form of this material energy that we see within this world, which is made of matter, right? If it can be either a liquid or some kind of a gas, or it can be some kind of a solid, whatever be the case, any kind of a substance, it will be destroyed in one way or the other in the above stated manners. But spirit soul, because it belongs to a different category of energy, in later in the 7th chapter, Krishna clarifies this. भूमिरापो नलो वायुः खम्मनो बुद्धिरेव च अहंकार इति यमे भिन्ना प्रकृति में तथा. So this material energy, earth, air, fire, water, ether, or the sky, and all this, or even mind, intelligence, ego, all this, these are all different forms of material energy, or what we call in this world, whatever we see in this world is made up of this material energy. But there is another kind of energy that we don't see, but that belongs to the spiritual world, but it is there inside this world also, but we can't see it. What is that? That is spiritual energy. Our souls are made of that spiritual energy. So this material energy and spiritual energy, they are very different. They have their own characteristics. So, in science, students, they conduct many experiments, they learn, oh, what are the characteristics of this particular chemical or this liquid or all that. So similarly, Krishna is giving the characteristics of the spirit soul. And he's saying, Nitya Sarvagata Sthanu Achaloyam Sanatana. And this spirit soul, it is present everywhere. And Achaloyam, you can't even move it. We cannot even see it, then how can we move it? Because it is extremely small. In the next shloka again, he says, this spirit soul is invisible. We can't even see it. Then how can you even think of damaging it? First of all, if we have to damage something or destroy it, we have to be able to see it. Then we can target that and we can destroy it in some other way, as we have already stated. We can't see it, then how can we destroy it? Why can't we see it? Because it is inconceivable. Because it is something that we have never come across. We don't even understand what it is. And it will never change. Avikarya. It is unchangeable. So anything that is material, it is so interesting. Throughout our studies in the science, we have seen how different substances will undergo changes. So even our shastras say, even our bodies or anything that is material, it has to undergo 6 transformations. One, it has to take birth. Then it will start growing. Then it will, create some byproducts or its own babies. Then it will maintain itself for some time. Then it will start dwindling. That means it will start deteriorating or aging. Then one fine day it will die. So none of these will happen to the spirit soul. Therefore, he is saying it is immutable. So it is immovable. You can't move it. Because it is there in the heart. It is there exactly in the same place in the heart. From when it was inside the womb of the mother till when it grows, only the body is changing. Body is growing and growing. But that spirit soul is exactly in the same place or position in the heart of every living entity. Therefore, it is unchangeable, immovable, and it is eternally the same. And Krishna is also saying it is present everywhere. Now, what does this mean? Does this mean that we, the spirit souls, we are there everywhere? No, no. in the sense, we as individual souls, I'm here, I'm sitting in my house, you're all sitting in your own homes. But collectively, so many innumerable souls are present all over, is what he's saying. That means there are so many spirit souls living on the land. Okay, we go inside water, even in the rivers, oceans, seas, everywhere there are living entities which we can see with our own naked eye. There are many we cannot even see with our own naked eye. And scientists know, they say that even there are microorganisms, right, all over in the air we breathe, inside our body, outside our body. So the spirit souls are there everywhere. There is no place where spirit souls are not present. Even inside fire, there are living beings. Shastra confirms. That's why there are many different planets or lokas where fire element is more. Probably even scientists have also probably come across there are some kind of entities, organisms which can exist in very high temperature zones, and also in very cold temperatures also. Therefore, Krishna is saying, knowing all this, you should not lament for the spirit soul. Spirit soul, anyway, nothing is going to happen. Then what about the body? The body, anyway, is going to change and die. So why should you grieve for the body? Then finally he says, Athachainam nitya jatam nityam vamanya semritam tathapi tvam mahabaho nainam shochitum arhasi. Okay, let's say Arjuna, let's say you don't believe in spirit soul. He's just addressing all those people who were existing even back in the day. It's not just now. Maybe scientists and others, they don't have information about the spirit soul. They don't believe in that. There were, Srila Prabhupada says, there were different categories of philosophers like the Loka, Yatikas, Vaibhashikas, and many others. They also, like the scientists, they did not believe that there is a separate spiritual soul that is existing. Whatever life symptoms, this is what they say, very similar to what our scientists say. Basically, they say at the time of, when a person is born, then there are life symptoms, that's it. And when they die, the life symptoms also are gone. So there is nothing like a spirit soul as such. So even as the scientists say, the life symptoms, when they come into existence in a particular combination of matter, particular material combination, and then if it is not favorable, it will not exist. So Krishna is saying, okay, let's say even if you think that way, that means the life symptoms will always be born and it will always die. Then why do you have to lament? There is no reason for you to lament because these people are anyway not eternal. So you don't even think that they are some kind of separate beings. They are just, it's like if you are saying this is all um, symptoms of life, there is nothing like spirit soul, then it is like a combination of some chemicals. That's what the scientists claim. So basically, they are saying symptoms of life means there are some combination of chemicals. They are working in a certain way, and they are making the body function. So that is life according to them. So if that is the case, when a person or the body dies, that combination of chemicals, whichever or the symptoms of life, that will also don't not exist. So that's okay. Then why should you lament? You're not even lamenting for any person that means. So you don't have any reason to lament. So this is because Krishna is giving various arguments. Because even if Arjuna is thinking not on the terms of a soul, uh, and then in the next shloka he says, जातस्य हि ध्रुवो मृत्युः ध्रुवं जन्म मृतस्य च तस्मादपरिहार्येऽर्थे न त्वं शोचितुमर्हसि. See, one who has taken birth, he's sure to die. And one who is dead will surely take birth again. So then why should you lament? Fine, if you don't agree with that, if you're thinking they're still spirit souls, then their body is dead and they're going to come back again, take another birth again. Or these life symptoms have gone and again life symptoms will emerge again. So either ways, why do you have to lament? Whoever is, everybody knows, whoever is born, they will die. Everyone knows. And whoever dies, then again will be born again. So there is no reason why you have to lament, Arjuna. So in the next shloka, he says, अव्यक्तादीनि भूतानि व्यक्तमध्यानि भारत अव्यक्तनिधनान्येव तत्र का परिदेवना. So this, in this whole creation of this universe, how things work is that, in the beginning there was nothing. It was just unmanifest. Nothing was manifested. There was no Brahmanda, nothing. So even the material energy was unmanifest. Even the spirit souls, they were all in a very dormant state. They were all like sleeping. And then they become manifest. And then the universe is created, and then all the living entities, they also have become manifest and they start living their lives. And then again, when the pralaya happens, or the whole universe is destroyed or annihilated, again everything will go back to that original state of non-manifestation. Nothing will be manifested. So it is just in between. For some time, they're all manifest and they have their life, they are taking care of their bodies and this and that. They're going about their activities. So why should you lament? Anyway, they're again going to go back to that unmanifest and unmanifested state. So why do you have to lament? And in the next shloka, Krishna now again says, see, all this is there, but still, how many do actually believe in the soul, or how many even understand it? It's very, very, very difficult to even understand it. That's why he says, Ascharyavat pashyati kashchidenam. Some people are amazed by just the concept of soul. What is this soul? And some describe also the soul as amazing. So even to describe someone who has even studied about the soul, they are also amazed. Someone who doesn't know about it, they're also amazed when they hear about it. And even after hearing about it, they still cannot understand at all. So hardly anyone understands this spirit soul, what this spirit soul is all about. And one thing we have to understand is by understanding, let's say we take one drop of water from an ocean and we study that little sample of water of ocean, then that means we will understand how the ocean water is in total, right? We don't have to go study the properties of the entire body of ocean water. Just by taking little bit of the ocean water, we can understand what the whole ocean, how. So even a little bit sample of ocean water is salty. So the entire ocean is also, the ocean water is also salty, and so it's pretty much the same. Similarly, Krishna, by talking about all the characteristics of individual souls, we can understand how the Supreme Lord Himself is. Because we are all tiny, tiny parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord. So all the characteristics of the spirit soul, what we are talking about, it also applies to the infinitely spiritual being, Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. Mamaivaamsha Divaloke Jivabhuta Sanatana. Krishna clarifies later that we are all his parts and parcels. So he's eternally spiritual being, and he never even takes on a body like us. But as a spiritual being, he can never be destroyed, and he's eternal, unchangeable, and nobody can destroy him. So all these apply to him also. Now in the shloka 30, it says, Nehi nityamavadhyoyam nehe sarvasya bharata tasmat sarvani bhutani natum chochitum arhasi. Again, he's coming back to the same point. Don't worry, Arjuna. The spirit soul, which is residing in the body, it is not the body himself. That spirit soul can never be killed because he is eternal. Because the nature of spiritual energy is that it is eternal, and the nature of material energy is just the opposite. It is always changing. We have this in our experience always. Anything we see, let's say a flower or a fruit, or any cooked substance, anything, with time it will go back. That means it is changing. But spiritual energy is not like this. It is completely opposite. It never goes back, it never changes, and it is never killed. Therefore, you don't have to grieve, Arjuna, for any living entity, because all these living entities are all eternally spiritual beings. They are never going to be destroyed. They're always there. In one form or the other, they're always there. So, till now, Sri Krishna took one approach. Now, Krishna takes on another approach from shloka 31 to 38. Now, let's say Arjuna is not thinking so much on a spiritual angle. And if Arjuna is, because he also brought up the point of enjoyment, right? So he said, see, we are going to fight all these people, our own kinsmen and our gurus and superiors. But for what? For this kingdom? Let's say we fight all of them, kill all of them, and we win the kingdom also. Then what? Then who will we enjoy it with? Right? So if we don't even have our own family members, how can we enjoy this whole kingdom which we are fighting for? So now that means this is not on a spiritual platform, it is more on an enjoyment. So now Krishna starts dealing with these, this angle. It says, well, by fighting, it is a win-win situation for you, Arjuna. If you fight, what will happen? You will win. You can enjoy in this life also because you will get the kingdom. Another, let's say, if you don't win the battle and if you lose, then also what happens is you will get Veeraswarga, because this is a Dharma Yuddha. Whoever gets killed on this battlefield, they will go to Swargaloka, heavenly planets. There they'll enjoy. Either here or there, you will enjoy. What's the problem? But let's say you don't fight thinking that, oh, there is no enjoyment. Then both ways it's a lose-lose situation for you. Why? Because if you don't fight now, one thing, you are committing a sin because you are a kshatriya, that is your dharma. You're not doing adharma by not fighting in this dharma yuddha. So you will anyway not get go to heavenly planets. Not just that, by not fighting, even here, your own enemies and all others, everyone else who would praise you even earlier that you are such a great fighter, everyone will mock you, Arjuna. Everyone will insult you because you have ran away from the battlefield, and it will give you so much pain because it will people will mock you. Therefore, you will become infamous. So in these lines, Krishna talks. So in the shloka 31, he explains, Swadharmamapi chaveksha navikampitum arhasi dharmyadi yuddhache yonyat kshatriyasya na vidyate. So now, okay, forget that you are a spirit soul. If you think you are the body, you have a body of a kshatriya, and you should perform the duty of a kshatriya, which is what? To fight. There is no other better, dharma for you as a kshatriya other than fighting for this dharma yuddha, right? It will give you the such a highest benefit by fighting. So why are you hesitating? You shouldn't even be hesitating. And in fact, kshatriyas, their nature is that they are very courageous, and um, they actually love to fight. They're waiting for such opportunities to fight with their enemies. And look at you. You have got such an opportunity. Yadruchaya chopapannam swargadwaram apavritam. By fighting in this battle, not only will your fighting desire will be fulfilled because you're a Kshatriya. Kshatriyas like to fight, and they will never miss an opportunity to fight. And on top of that, you will actually go to heavenly planets. Sukhina Kshatriya Partha Labhante Yuddham Idrisham. Will any Kshatriya lose such an opportunity to fight? They'll be very happy. Why are you running away from this? Adachet Tvamimam Dharmyam Sangramam na karishyasi. So now he's saying, okay, let's say you do not perform your duty by fighting, right? Then you will occur sin, not the other way around. Don't think by fighting this dharma yuddha you will occur sin. No, no. Because you're neglecting your duty, your swadharma as a kshatriya, then you will not only uh, get papa or a sinful karma reaction, and you will also lose your reputation as a great fighter. So back in the day, there was so much importance given to performing one's swadharma that we people in Kali Yuga, we can't understand it so much because there is the society is not really classified in terms of varna ashrama dharma. But previously, the whole society was organized as Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. So one who is a Brahmana, he has to do his duty as a Brahmana. One who is a Kshatriya, he has to. So their Swadharma was more important to them than their own life. So that is why they were very, very, um, adherent to principles of Vedas, because they knew it is not just in this life. This life, whatever happens, that's okay. We can't change it. But they would always think from the perspective of next life and in the long term. Shreya, what is my Shreya? By not doing my Swadharma, I will have to go to hell, rot in hell for thousands of years for just, maybe for a little enjoyment I may get by avoiding my Swadharma. So one would never do that. That is why they were called as Arya, or people who followed the path of uh, Shreya, or one who was in the path of spiritual advancement in life. Therefore, Krishna is saying, don't do this. Akirtim chapi bhutani kadhishyanti vyayam. People will talk about you in, that you're not, they'll dishonor you. And for a respectable person like you, dishonor is worse than death. It's better to die rather than, being dishonored by people. especially for a Kshatriya. Kshatriya has a, because he is primarily in Rajoguna, he's a king, or he's belongs to the royal family, and for them, their self-respect is very, very important for them. So they will not do just about anything and everything just for the sake of livelihood. They will always stick to their Kshatriya dharma. Okay, so we will stop here.